Welcome, welcome all. I am so excited, so amped today. In the cool seat, we have none other than Ibrahim Mohammed Chunara. Ibrahim, how are you doing, sir?
Abdul,
how are you doing?
I finally got the nod to be on Garden to Old Trafford.
Welcome,
Thank
sir.
you so
all
much.
the best.
You know, I've been waiting for the invite for a long time, so
Listen,
really appreciate
listen,
it.
we said we save the best for last. So Ibrahim Chunara, guys, is here today to give us his all-time Manchester United 11. But before we get into that, I need to say this out before we start. I have, as an Arsenal fan, I have been spoiled by the amount and the amazing fans of Manchester United. And Ibrahim, I am so excited for this segment because let me tell you guys, when Ibrahim Chunara does something, he does it well. So yeah, Ibrahim, welcome, man. Welcome.
He's being too gracious to
No,
me, which I don't deserve. By the way.
So just to tell you guys very quickly, I'm going to bring Ibrahim on just to show you guys how much of knowledge I have of Manchester United. Ibrahim, you have a tough one. You have the Trinity.
Oh.
You have the likes of Best, Law, Sir Matt Busby.
Oh.
All of these guys. Moving on, you're getting Brian Robson. You're moving on, you're getting all of the Roy Keane. I mean, you've got all of these guys. How do you put them in 11? Just tell us. I mean, wow. I've been waiting for this segment for so long. Ibrahim, and moving forward, if you don't know, and we're just going to go through it. We want your all-time 11, your best of your best. You're going to be allowed to get 11 players. Mm-hmm. Before we get started, Ibrahim, anything from your side, before we carry on, anything you'd like to tell us?
Yeah, I think what we need to understand about Manchester United and the history of Manchester United, it's an amazing football club. Yes. And I'm not saying it just because I support Manchester United, but the amount of trials and tribulations that Manchester United had to go through throughout their origins and, you know, their history, it's amazing. And, you know, for a club to be blessed with one iconic manager is a lot. But to be blessed with two iconic managers that had the same philosophy, nurturing the youngsters, bringing in brilliant footballers to you know, work with the youngsters and go on to dominate football is something that not a lot of clubs do. You know, Liverpool had the great Shankly. You know, Arsenal with George Graham. I mean, that's a history on its own.
It's
Arsene Wenger. And, you know, United to go from a Sir Matt Busby era to then go to the lows of, you know, all of the different managers that came through. Then to have big Ron Atkinson who brings in Brian Robson, to Sir Alex Ferguson, and then the current damage that we've done over the last 10 years under the Glazers, and now to be there with Ten Hag. And I'm hoping a third era is cooking for Manchester
There's something
United.
about it.
I'm hoping.
No,
you know,
I
we've
agree.
got Sir Matt, Sir Alex, and I'm hoping Eric is the guy to take us forward. You know, we love our Erics.
No, we love it.
And I'm hoping this Eric just takes us to the next level.
Did you guys feel that? This is Ibrahim Chunara's Manchester United all-time 11. You guys have been waiting a long time for this. And you've been too, eh? Been difficult, yeah?
But we were gracious. We let other guys do it.
You sure? Good. No. Ibrahim is good. Ibrahim Chunara. You know, and as you guys can see it today, before going in, and I'm going to bring it in, Ibrahim's got iconic skippers on the table today. We have to make mention of this. This is George Best, Ibi, the year.
This is a remake of the 68 European Cup final jersey that Manchester United, the first English team to win a Champions League. So I know Liverpool and then talk about, yes, they're the club that has 6 Champions Leagues. And I don't want to be crass about it, but, and you talk to lovers of football, old Liverpool fans, Arsenal, Manchester United fans. Munich 58, the disaster, put Manchester United back like you can't believe.
Oh, definitely.
The class and quality of the players that they had and that they lost during the Munich air disaster was a massive loss not only to Manchester United but to world football.
Oh, yes.
So for a team, that team would have gone on not only to dominate English football, but European football. And we did an amazing segment about Santiago Bernabeu.
Yes.
And if you listen to that, Santiago Bernabeu, not the stadium, the founding chairman of Real Madrid, he said that had that crash not happened, Manchester United would have dominated European football.
And just with that, the respect he had for Manchester United.
Unreal.
Ibrahim, tell the viewers that he actually made Manchester United and Real Madrid play friendlies to get Manchester United at that level they needed to be. So guys, don't forget, stadium tour, Santiago Bernabeu, Real Madrid, it's an education.
And Abdul, on this jersey, 10 years after the crash, United with best Lord Charlton.
The Trinity. Oh, the Trinity.
3 years in a row, Ballon d'Or winners go on to win the European Cup. 10 years after losing literally your entire team. Wow. For Matt Busby to build a new team and go and win European football. First English club to do it. Manchester United. Amazing. So it's going to be a tough one to pick a squad.
Amazing. Oh no, it's going to be absolutely amazing. So moving forward, Ibrahim,
do I get to choose my formation?
Yes. You want me to choose it? Okay, good. Moving forward, you know, we've got so many guys on the channel and it's been so amazing. And I know Ibrahim Chunara's always got a little surprise wrapped up in a little bit of fairy dust. So Ibrahim Chunara, what formation are we going into this game?
I wanted to go with a standard 4-4-2 because that's what we grew up watching, right?
Okay.
But I'm going to mix it up a bit.
Like that.
Because I want a dynamo, but I want two holding midfielders as well in my team.
Not bad.
Right?
That's actually very good.
So what I'm going to play is a 4, 2, 2. You know that 4-2-2?
Right. So it's 4, your 2, your generals.
Your 2 generals, your 2 white players.
White players, yeah.
Your 1 maestro and your 1 striker.
Oh, I love it.
So it's a 4-4-2, but just a little bit mixed up.
Just a little bit twitchy.
So it's a 4-2-2-1-1.
Wow, guys. Okay, guys, as you guys know, the black book is out. And just to explain to you guys what Ibrahim is doing. So, we've got the 4 defenders. We've got your goalkeeper. We've got your 4 defenders. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ibi.
100%.
We've got 2 generals.
2 generals.
2 generals holding it. One, obviously, with your, when you're coaching the boys and whatever, you can allow one to move forward. We have in front of them a midfielder dynamo. On the right hand side and on the left, Ibrahim's got 2 right midfielders and left midfielders / maybe winger if you want to go inverted or wide. And he's got a super striker up front. This is a nice formation. Do you know this formation was the top formation in FIFA, by the way, a few years ago?
Back in the day.
The 4-2-2-2. Yeah. Remember, it's the 4-2-2-2. Well done, Ibrahim.
But you said a bit of a mix in the 2 in front because I'm not playing a 2 flat strikers. I'm playing 1 behind that can interchange.
We need to try this out. Okay. So, Ibrahim, moving forward, and as we tell all our guests, sorry, we don't have gums for you today.
I'm hurt.
I'm so sorry. But I can make a plan for you just now. But you can have the soccer ball if you want.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So, Ibrahim, we have your goalkeeper. And I'm just going to quickly do it. I'm going to do it as beautifully as you. Let's just carry on. Let's just do it how it is.
Okay.
So we're going to start off with your goalkeeper. And you are spoiled for choice. Let me tell you guys, Manchester United had, all of these years, you guys had one of the best goalkeepers in every team.
Amazing keepers. I mean, from what I remember, right? I mean, obviously the history, right? And I can go back far. But
very far. You can take us to 1940.
I can take
Ibrahim can take us to 1950. 1940, 1950.
But we had amazing segments on it, so I'm not going to because this is my all-time 11, right? We grew up watching Supersport. And there was a certain pundit on Supersport who was a goalkeeper. Do you remember him?
Gary Bailey.
Gary Bailey was a phenomenal goalkeeper. So I'm stuck. You know, there's Gary Bailey. We've got Schmeichel, Van der Sar, David De Gea. So those were the 4 that I narrowed it down to. Because Bailey, some heroic
No,
saves.
Gary Bailey
You know,
was
amazing,
absolutely amazing.
right?
Absolutely.
But I'm going to take him out because he can't be in a conversation with those three. Right? So this is
Fair.
the way that I start cutting it down.
Fair.
David De Gea is up there with the other two. I mean, he's phenomenal in terms of appearances, in terms of titles, you know, all of that. For me, the one thing that puts David De Gea out of that conversation, he's not won a Champions League with Manchester United. So that drops him down.
Okay.
So I've got two goalkeepers to choose for. And the easy choice is to go for Peter Schmeichel because of the Champions League, the treble in 99. But I'm going to go for Edwin van der Sar. And the reason I'm going to go for Edwin van der Sar in my polls, and I know you thought I'm going with Schmeichel, because I only talk about Schmeichel.
Wow.
Yeah, I only talk about Schmeichel.
What a goalkeeper.
But the reason I'm going to go for van der Sar, and if you allow me to explain it a bit. After Schmeichel retired or left Manchester United, United was stuck for years with rubbish goalkeepers. And okay, let me be a bit more, tasteful. Not rubbish, but goalkeepers that were not the quality of Manchester United.
You guys had Fabian Barthez.
We had Masiu Taibi. We had Fabian Barthez, Roy Carroll, Tim Howard,
I know.
to name a few.
Yeah.
Right? And then Sir Alex Ferguson goes and buy a 30-something goalkeeper from Fulham. Yes. And everybody thought this can't be the answer for Manchester
Who's
United.
this guy?
But Edwin van der Sar just reinvigorated Manchester United from the back to the front and was part of the 3 Premier League back-to-backs, which Pep Guardiola still hasn't done it, and that's why I'm hoping you guys win the league. He was part of the Champions League victory against Chelsea. He was there when we had the 2 losses against Barcelona. And that we were just beaten by a brilliant team in those other 2 finals. So Van der Sar, what he'd done for Manchester United was amazing. And
Absolutely.
Ferguson learned from his mistake and made sure he had De Gea come in as Van der Sar was going
Absolutely.
out. So for me, Edwin van der Sar,
Ibrahim,
my Dutch dynamo
you knocked
in
us
the polls.
Off the park. Edwin van der Sar, what a goalkeeper.
What a
he made it
goalkeeper.
very difficult for a lot of teams.
Very difficult.
What a goalkeeper. So, Edwin van der Sar in the polls. This is already... Wow.
Love it.
We already bamba.
We
We were the big boys. So, moving along, Ibrahim. And we love doing this here. We need a pair, centre-back pair, that obviously really gives us that authenticity and that mix of a good defender, a ball-marking defender, and a defender that has a little bit of class that can throw those passes. You are spoiled for choice.
You're spoiled.
You are
for choice.
spoiled for choice.
And it hurts me because there's players like Pallister. There's players like Vidic, Jaap Stam, Rio Ferdinand, Steve Bruce, and the names can carry on.
Yes.
Right? But for me, the two and the one that I grew up watching and what I loved him, and he was a goal scoring defender, Steve Bruce.
Oh, Steve Bruce.
Steve Bruce was a hard hitter.
When he comes for the corner, he's there.
Besides the goals, this guy was like a rock in the defense, and he was really a really important piece of Sir Alex Ferguson's team to build from the back forward.
Kept it together. Everything together.
And a player that reminds me so much of him is Vidic. And Vidic was amazing for Manchester United. Okay. And he loses out to Bruce just by a little.
Sure.
I love Steve Bruce. Amazing. And it hurt me when with his managerial struggles.
Oh, yes.
And the stress that he's been put under by opposing fans. So Steve Bruce makes my midfield.
Wow.
My defense. And for me, the partner for him, silky smooth, the only guy that can will always be in a Manchester United, I think, across everybody, is my man, vibe with 5, Rio Ferdinand.
Rio.
When he came to Manchester United, I was so excited. And defensive signings don't make people excited.
No, but not this guy.
But I was excited when we bought him. 30 million. Rocked up with a white pinstripe suit. White hair. Yeah. Rocked it. I love Rio Ferdinand.
What a player.
Rio, if you're listening, We want you on Gunning.
Come on, brother.
Help us out,
Help
buddy.
us out.
And we know you're watching our content.
We
So,
definitely,
come
we
on,
watched
Rio.
you. We saw what you're doing.
We love you, Rio.
Yes, sir. But Ibrahim,
So,
Rio
you know,
Ferdinand-
Rio and Bruce. Bruce cracks the ones, and Rio, when he finishes the game, you don't even know he played in the match.
This
because
is
his shots
already
doesn't get-
beefing up to be something.
And already 3 leaders. Van der Sar,
Wow.
Bruce, and Rio.
Wow. Guys, slide into those comments. This is going to be an education. Wow, Ibrahim. Edwin van der Sar, I said that.
Yeah.
Steve Bruce and Rio Ferdinand. These are stalwarts, man.
Stalwarts.
These are stalwarts. So, wow.
Abdul, if
I
you
don't know
let
what to
me,
tell
we
you.
go into left back.
Left back, sure. Left
I'll
back.
start with left and then go to right, because the right is an easy choice. Right?
Sure.
The left, for me, is between 2 people. And again, guys, this is my 11.
Yes.
You know, I'm not going to go into history because we've had channels about history. I'm only going to go into it if I need to talk about a player. So, for me, there's only 2 players that came into contention for me in this position. Patrice Evra, Dennis Irwin. Dennis Irwin, again, beyond his time, was a penalty taker, free kick taker.
Brilliant
the confidence to stand in front of, Brian Robson and Kentana and say, listen, I'm going to take the penalties, I'm going to take the free kicks.
I know,
you need to have mentality.
Your mind needs to be.
You know what I mean? Irishman.
Oh, love we love the Irish.
We love our Irish
Listen,
and our
Irish and the
Scottish.
Scottish. We love you guys, man.
And the other guy, the pet man.
Ooh.
You know, when you're in trouble, you put out the pet signal,
Yeah,
not the bat
the
signal.
pet. The pet.
The pet signal. And Uncle Petty, Patrice Evra comes in. And for
Please.
me, Patrice Evra, when he joined Manchester United, him and Vidic joined together in January. So whoever says you don't get value in January,
No, you do.
you're confused, my brothers
Yeah.
and sisters. Because January signings usually, people are stingy to get January.
Yes.
But Ferguson went in and took Evra and Vidic. And their first game, or their first couple of games, they played Liverpool. And Luis Suarez ran circles around him against Evra and Vidic. And here we thought, what did Ferguson do? But these 2 turned out to be what fantastic servants of the club.
Yes.
And for me, again, Patrice Evra, the things that he did for Manchester United and continues to do for Manchester United off the field is
Unbelievable.
amazing. So for me, my left back, none other, the pet man. I love you,
Patrice
Pet.
Evra.
I know people on Gunning to Old Trafford chose Ashley Cole over you.
There was a mistake.
Can't understand it.
There was a
But
mistake.
you always my number 1 pick. My all-time 11, Patrice Evra on the left.
Ibi, just to add with Patrice Evra, I love him as well. He was a leader as well.
Leader.
Hard hitter. Speed. He could pass. He could score a couple of crackers as well.
Yeah.
Amazing. Wow.
You know,
Patrice Evra.
there was a story on Vibe with 5 where Ferdinand and Evra were talking. And Vidic and Evra were not talking to each other for like 4 games. Because Vidic told Evra something and Evra shot back. Because they both big personality.
They're big guys.
So they bite back.
Yeah.
So if you noticed, at a point in that one season, Vidic and Ferdinand swapped. Ferdinand went to the left and Vidic went to the right. Because if your left back and your centre back are not talking,
It's a problem.
and they're not communicating,
It's a huge
you can't
problem.
play.
It's
So
a huge
Ferguson swapped them, didn't drop them
But
because he
swapped
knew
them.
what they are, but swapped them. So Ferdinand played off the left and Vidic played off the right to make room for them.
How's that?
Love it.
There's 2 things here. It's the brilliance of the manager, and it's also about the versatility of these kind of players.
Exactly.
They're brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Love it.
Wow.
And that also shows you don't need to always be the best friends with your teammates.
No, you don't.
But when you're on the field, you need to have your guys back.
Agreed. 100%.
Because everybody can't be friends.
No, I mean,
Right.
that's how
So
it is.
that's it. My right
Yeah.
back, if the Nevilles could play for England, so can I. If the Nevilles could play for England, so can I.
I love this canterous
There
guy,
can
man.
only be one right back for me.
Gary
Gary
Neville.
Neville.
Man,
I grew up
amazing.
watching Gary Neville. And not the best player, but my God, the right player for the occasion. Gary Neville played with Manchester United on his sleeve,
You cut
on
him here.
his chest,
You cut that heart out. There's a Manchester United
logo on his heart. Born and bred Manchester United.
Oh, agreed.
If the Nevilles could play for England, so can I. But He was part of the treble-winning team. He was part of the second revitalization of Manchester United, where they went on to win the double Premier League and Champions League.
He's been there, he's done it.
He's been there, he's done it, he's got the T-shirt, and a lovely, lovely personality.
Brilliant. He's amazing. You know what? Also, just to add on Gary Neville, also, not the most fanciest player, but a functional player. He's something about
And
him.
he
He can
unlocked
turn it on.
Beckham.
They unlocked him. Because he functions
Best of
well.
friends. Gary Neville and David Beckham,
Oh, and
best
they were
of friends.
amazing on the right.
Teammates. So the in syncness that they had.
Do you know,
amazing.
and you're going to love this, who they remind me of? Benny Blanco and Mfana Foot.
Yes.
That cohesion, that
Something
understanding. When Benny goes, when Gary used to go, David Beckham knows I need to go in the mid
to make space for
to
him,
make space
for the overlap.
It was
And that's
amazing.
why Benny Blanco is not the best right back in the world.
No, he's not.
But he's the right back for
He's
Arsenal.
functional.
100%. And that's what
they
Gary
want.
Neville is
That's it.
for Manchester United
That's
and
it.
will be for my team.
Wow. Can I do this, please? Guys. Iklausha, pa, pa, pa. Listen to this backline. We have Edwin van der Sar in the poles. Our two centre backs, Steve Bruce, the hard hitter, the Iklausha pedo. Next to him we have Silky Smooth, Rio Ferdinand. Amazing. On the right, none other than Gary Neville and Patrice Evra on the left. Wow.
Love it.
Now, Ibi, since you got us all worked up about this beautiful formation, talk to us about your two now in front. Because we also can do it because now you're going with the two generals in the midfield. Who do we go for? This wow.
And again, I like how you said it. So it's not just two generals, right? It's the one needs to be a ball player.
Yes.
And the one needs to be a hard hitter.
Correct.
But they must both be able to hang back if I need them to hang back. And if I need one to go forward, he must be able
have
to
the
go forward.
quality. Yeah.
Right? So for me, growing up, watching who I watched play ball, for me, there can only be two players. And I'm sorry, Roy Keane. You don't make my midfield. And I know that's going to shock Abdul.
Roy, are you serious?
You
Ibi?
don't make it, but you make a spot on my bench. So you can already put him in the bench.
We're going to put
Right?
Roy.
You can put Roy Keane on my bench. But for me, the two players that make it there, Brian Robson, Paul Scholes. Paul Scholes doesn't need to run with the balls. Paul Scholes doesn't need to be further up the field to dictate play. He can dictate play from the other side of the half.
I never saw
by
it like
just dropping the balls where he needs to. With Brian Robson giving him that cover that he needs to have time on the ball. And if Paul Scholes has time on the ball, my friend, you must be scared.
No, you did. You know, there was a time Thierry Henry said this. You know, those days, you can put a target at the furthest part of the field. And Thierry Henry says, Paul Scholes will hit that target.
You say, you know, the one you were in training. And one of the players went to go take a pee at Carrington. Or wherever they were training. And Paul Scholes saw him taking a pee.
And he hit it.
He pinged the ball, hit him in the ass.
No, he was a killer, this boy.
What a boy.
Paul Scholes was a killer. He was a killer. You know how disappointed he was even last night?
Yeah, he was upset.
He was very
And you
upset.
can see it.
You can see it in his
My
face.
ginger ninja.
Ginger ninja.
So he had to be in my team because the versatility that he gives to this team, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And quiet, not there for the fame, gets about, does
does
his
his
work.
thing.
You know when he came out of retirement? When he came out of retirement, remember when Ferguson had that problem and Pogba left? We spoke about it on our past and present. Go look at it. And everybody thinks it was Scholes that forced Pogba to leave. No, it wasn't.
No.
It was Phil Jones. So Scholes comes out of retirement. He could have phoned Nike, could have phoned Adidas to say, listen, I'm out of retirement, I need boots.
Yeah.
What did he do? He went into the like a normal boot shop.
Yeah?
Bought a pair of Nikes, went to the stadium and played a game against Manchester
Are
City.
you serious? So he's like walking into Total Sports and saying, I want this one in.
Well, what's that? Sports Direct. You know the guys that own Newcastle?
Yeah.
Mike
Yes.
Ashley, he went into a Sports Direct, bought a pair of boots and went to go play a game of football, professional football.
Now the other owners want to take a boot, we'll try this one on, we need to break it in, whatever it is.
Why? Because he knows the boot that does not make him.
It's who he is.
It's his mentality. And Brian Robson, what do I say about Brian Robson?
Man.
Brian Robson, let me tell you, Manchester United were in such a problem when Ferguson took over. The drinking culture at Manchester United was ridiculous. Brian Robson was a key part of the drinking culture at Manchester United.
Wow.
And when Ferguson came in, he decided to get rid of all of them, most of the players. But he didn't want to get rid of Brian Robson, even though he did it. Why? Because Brian Robson could drink the entire night, come the next day and look like he's not had a sip of any alcohol.
Captain Marvel.
And just revigorated that entire team from the middle.
I said it in the start of the segment. I have been spoiled by, amazing Manchester United fans.
And I met Brian Robson, so...
And guys, one thing I need to tell you, sitting next to the Manchester United fans and they speak of Brian Robson, there's a certain aura that comes out. There's something about it. So when they say Captain Marvel, they mean it. Wow, Ibrahim. Old schools, Captain Marvel.
What a midfield. And Roy Keane to come on if I need it.
Roy Keane is there. He's ready. He's ready.
He won't be happy.
He's got a nice message. Yeah, you need to give him a talk, man.
You need to. I'm not going to have to talk. Dude, you're my assistant, so you were having that discussion.
He mustn't knock me off me. He'll give me a hiding or Roy, man. I'm scared of
Roy Keane makes my bench.
Amazing.
So that's my midfield. My wingers. Again, tough, Abdul. Tough.
Yes. There's already names coming in my head.
And because of that, I'm going to have to put one guy out of his position to play.
Okay.
Right. For me, grew up watching this boy. Loved Manchester United because of him. Poster boy. Model.
One of my oh my God.
Married to a Spice Girl.
Oh my God.
I mean, the first rock star footballer in the modern era.
Oh, it was amazing. I was on hairstyles. Oh, man.
I mean, the reason I had a mohawk was because of David Beckham. I don't know if you remember. I used to have a mohawk, guys, back in the day when I was, a mohawk with ice white tips. I was naughty.
You were very naughty.
I was naughty.
You were a naughty boy. Listen, I also had it, but mine is see-through. It couldn't really go up, but I made it go up for David Beckham. My guy.
David Beckham on my right.
You couldn't not have.
I couldn't.
What a guy, man.
And on
his Predator boot. I was on Predator boots.
That white Adidas Predator with Romeo written on it for his life. It was amazing, man.
Now, Aslam Suji used to wear Predators.
Yeah. Big up,
Aslam. Oh, the best.
Amazing. So that's my right.
Man.
And on my left, spoiled for choice. Cristiano Ronaldo.
Again.
Ryan Giggs. But I had to take someone out of position to play him in there. And I said I got the first rockstar footballer of the modern era to play on my right. But I got the original rockstar footballer to play on my left.
Don't do this.
Georgie Best. I have to, Abdul.
Us. Guys, again, I said it, and I said this in a lot of videos. One Friday afternoon was raining. We didn't meet up at Friday, and it was one of those Friday afternoons where after a long time I had a bit of a rest. And this documentary of George Best starts. And it starts off like this. George Best was a diamond.
And he was.
And you know, this guy says it in an English-Irish voice. George Best was a diamond. And I'm like, yo, let's watch this.
I love it.
Oh no, George Best. If you
Georgie Best. I had to, Abdul.
Oh man, brilliant, man. Ibrahim Chunara.
So that's my midfield.
Ooh, Ibrahim. So guys, let me quickly go through it. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. We have our two generals now. How Ibrahim explained it is we're playing a 4-2-2-2, right? No, 4-2-2-1-1, right? So a brilliant formation, a functional formation. We have Brian Robson, which is our heart, our proper general in the midfield to understand what's happening. We have Paul Scholes, silky smooth, ginger ninja, just to ping those balls, boom, 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 like the quarterback. You understand? The quarterback on the right hand side. The original. On the right hand side, we have none other than David Beckham. I'm going to say it with the right
respect.
And on the left, none other than Bestie. Guys, I've witnessed fans from the 1950s. Brilliant. Uncle Mohammed Amin, that's why I have to bring him in. Dr. Barry Schmeitzer, Uncle Yunus Chamda, and I'm with my other legend as well. When they speak of George Best, he's a diamond. So, Ibrahim, I love this already. You're going to give my Arsenal team a go, yeah. You're going to give my Arsenal team a... Do you know what the
We have
match
to
that
do a
would be?
verse.
Oh, you know what the match this will be. But you got a couple of hard hitters here, Ibi. They're going to knock my boys out for a 6, I'm telling you.
Had to.
Jo. Okay.
But Abdul, this
Ibi.
is dead. You know?
No, this is
And,
amazing.
George Best, when I say rock star footballer, guys.
Oh, yes.
A real rockstar footballer.
Yes. Please, for you youngsters out there, go and read about this man. This man was absolutely amazing. So, Ibrahim, moving forward, you have this foundation, a solid foundation. In front of Paul Scholes and Brian Robson, you need this dynamo. You know, this wizard guy.
And I'm going to put an
Also
absolute
spoiled
animal.
for choice.
I'm going to put an absolute
Oh
animal.
my God.
An
Talk to me.
absolute
My
animal.
pen, I'm nervous.
A player they can play across the park, Abdul. If I need him to drop into midfield to make it a midfield 3, he can do.
He's there.
If I need him to push into a striker 2, he can do it. If I need him to go out wide to help George Best with the overlap, he can do it.
Wow.
There's only one animal. And this animal brought out the best in players around him. Do you know who it is?
Can I do it?
It's not him.
It's not him.
It's not him.
Don't lie,
animal.
Brian.
A hunger, a desire to get to the ball. He sacrificed his own accolades to make the team play better. And it's none other than Wayne Rooney.
Oh,
Wayne
what's
Rooney.
that?
Wayne Rooney.
Wow. So
Wayne
you got him
Rooney.
in front of...
So Abdul, my formation is fluid.
Fluid.
Because if
Total.
I need to go into a 4-3-3,
You change it around.
I drop him in.
You've got the players.
I drop him in. I can get Beckham to come in as a right centre midfielder because that's where he started his football career. Rooney drops to the right, and then you've got a 3-man striking combination.
I love it.
And that's why Wayne Rooney
love
is
it.
in my team.
Wayne Rooney.
And playing just behind the striker. Why? Because he can drop past him if he needs to. He can sit back and dominate the play and dictate the play from there. A skinhead Wayne Rooney is a very underrated Wayne Rooney.
Very. No,
What a
this
player.
was amazing.
What a player.
Wayne Rooney. Ibrahim, I'm looking at this. You know, if you can go 4-3-3, you can play a...
I can play a straight 4-4-2.
4-4-2.
I can play
You could go with...
I can go a 4-5-1 if I wanted
4-5-1. You don't even have to go for... You can even go 3-5-2 here.
I can
With
play
your
a 3-5-2.
functionality here.
Yeah.
You've got everything here.
I've got everything.
You've got all your eggs in one basket. And you can now distribute.
And the guy to play in front of Wayne Rooney.
King!
I left the king for last, guys.
Ba boo!
Eric Cantona.
Yo!
I didn't even know how to build it up, Abdul. The king.
Leave it
up
on.
front.
Leave it on. Leave it
I
on.
have to. The king
Shite
up
us.
front.
What are you
Imagine
doing
Rooney
here?
feeding into Eric Cantona.
No, man. Ibrahim, man. Dude, look here. This team is so good. You don't have Roy Keane. And you are function. You don't have Cristiano Ronaldo.
I'm sorry, Ronnie.
And I don't think you're going to really miss him in the starting lineup. But you're going to need him.
Oh, no, of course.
Obviously,
Of course.
something coming up. So, guys, Ibrahim's going to give us his substitutes next. However, would you like me to go for it now or after
Because
the
we press for time, Abdul.
Okay,
Let me
okay,
go
yes.
into my subs.
Go for it.
And then
Go
we
for it,
push
go for it.
in on that. So, my keeper, the substitute that I want, Peter Schmeichel.
Peter.
I mean, best understudy to ever have.
Oh, yes.
In defense, Vidic. Because I think Vidic can cover across the field if I need him to.
Yeah.
In the midfield, I already told you Roy Keane as that midfielder and can play across the field. Abdullah, I'm going to ask you for 6 subs instead of 5.
Sure. Go for it.
So I'm going to go for Roy Keane in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
My other 2 midfielders, I'm going to go for Cristiano Ronaldo and Bobby Charlton.
Oh,
Sir
Ibrahim.
Sir Bobby Charlton.
Couldn't leave him out there.
Couldn't leave him out. And up front, I am torn.
Oh, are you going to... I was thinking about this.
I'm torn between 3 players.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't... And I'm struggling here. And the 3 players that I'm struggling with, Andy Cole,
Right.
Ruud van Nistelrooy,
Mm-hmm.
Robin van Persie. And I'll tell you why for each of them. Andy Cole was phenomenal for Manchester United for that couple of seasons.
Yes.
Ruud van Nistelrooy didn't win a lot with United.
But he was great.
And he brought that anger to Manchester United, you know. And Robin van Persie, yes, he had a short stint, but he won us our last league title. And if you want a deadly finisher to come off the bench to win it for you, it's Robin van Persie.
Ibrahim, for the sake, may I help you? Right? For the sake of gunning to Old Trafford, and tell us about the little boy quickly.
The little boy
tell him about the
inside
little boy.
cried out for Manchester United. Because he knew, playing under Ferguson, he was going to win a league title.
After I give you your ball, but we didn't give you cums, can I please make your last pick?
Do my last pick for me.
I have to.
Robin van
Guys,
Persie.
I have to. Robin van Persie.
Robin van Persie. Imagine Van Persie coming off the bench.
I love Andy Cole. I love Ruud van Nistelrooy, but Robin van Persie was a different gravy.
Different gravy.
You know?
And it hurts me to leave Dennis Law out.
Got you.
Because I've got 2 out of my trinity. But this is my 11. So
your 11.
It is what it is.
That's your 11, guys.
And my coach to take me through can only be one man.
So
the great one himself, David Moyes.
You got me. I was already boo-boo. I said David Moyes. And listen here. And you know how Ibrahim did it, guys? This is his 11. So if you was going to say David Moyes, I was just going to kick him here underneath and say, but like, are you serious? So yeah,
Sir Alex Ferguson. To manage personalities like this,
you need it.
You need a bigger personality.
Yes. Oh yes, Sir Alex Ferguson.
And my captain can only be one person
Marvel.
in this team. Brian Robson.
Captain Marvel. Wow. Guys, this was an absolute fantabulous. It was an honor. It was an education. What a team. I'm going to run through it quickly. We are spoiled a little bit of time, and the $1 million question just when we're done. So we have Edwin van der Sar in the poles. Our 2 centre backs, Steve Bruce, Rio Ferdinand. Right back, Gary Neville. Left back, Patrice Evra. Mr. Shahid Abdul, brother. Watch this team. Watch this team, right? We love you, by the way. Our 2 centre midfielders, basically our generals, with the other one with a little bit of tag. The quarterback, we have Paul Scholes and Captain Marvel, Brian Robson. On the right hand side, we have none other than
David Pingy Beckham.
Posh David Beckham. On the left, I mean, he needs no introduction. The best of the best.
The diamond.
George Best. In front of them, and Ibrahim went with a very, very, very versatile team. Wayne Rooney was a absolute talent. What a talent.
Love
and
it.
if you guys don't appreciate Wayne Rooney, you don't know football.
100%.
And up front, none other than
The king.
the king himself. Eric the Vava, boom.
Love it.
Madonna! Well done. Brilliant stuff. And on the bench, we have none other than the great Dan Peter Schmeichel, Emmanuel Vidic, my captain, but not the Marvel, the mayor of Manchester, love you too, sir, Roy Keane, Sir Bobby Charlton, Cristiano Ronaldo, I love Cristiano Ronaldo, I didn't know how to write, Cristiano Ronaldo, and none other than football heritage from Arsenal and Manchester United, proudly gunning to Old Trafford, Robin van Persie.
Robin
van Persie.
Is it 6 subs?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yes.
Yeah, brilliant stuff.
Thanks.
And Sir Alex Ferguson, the master, the
Taking
boss,
this team.
the everything. Love you, Sir Alex Ferguson. And the $1 million question. I got my answer already. This team.
Treble winners.
Oh, yes.
Not even Premier League winners.
Whoa!
This team
Treble.
competes across all the competitions.
So we're saying
Nobody touches
Premiership,
FA
Champions
Cup.
League, FA Cup.
Trebles.
I got to agree. You know Manchester United, guys, they come in
This is a
threes.
swagger, my friend.
Listen, Manchester United come in threes. They've got the Trinity. They've got the 3 cups you won.
The treble.
The treble. And now Ibrahim hit another treble. And that makes it 3 out of 3.
3 out of 3.
3 out of 3.
Brilliant. Love it.
My man, that was absolutely
Thank you,
amazing.
Abdul. Thanks for giving
Well
me the opportunity.
Well done.
Guys,
Speak
drop
to
into
our
the
people,
comments.
Ibi.
This is my 11, but if you disagree, love it. Please drop into the comments. Let us know what you think. There's a lot of players that lost out. Duncan Edwards, I wanted to put him, but I didn't watch him play. George Best, I've seen some clips of him, and that's why he's in my team. But there's so many other players that don't make it. Alex Stepney could have been in this team. And the names, just Dennis Irwin, Pellister, Stam, and the names continue. So I was stuck to 17 players, and I got it 17 on the sheet.
Amazing.
And this is why we love your opinions.
Yeah.
So this is my 11.
Yeah.
Let me know what you think. And Abdul, we need
With
to
that-
put your 11 versus my 11.
Oh, that's going to be
And
amazing.
let's see what the
That's
audience
going to be
says.
amazing. But Ibrahim, for this year, because it's all about respect, I salute you.
Thank you.
And with that, we are
Gunning to Old Trafford. Thank you, guys.